Before the gamers arrive, the commanding officers should arrange for the gaming guns and devices to all be configured ready for the first mission. Gaming guns should be reset back to appropriate factory defaults. For Battlefield Royale theme, the resets gun red and gun blue are used. Have the blue and red gaming guns separated before doing a reset. For battle boxes, if they are not already set to recommended options, use the master controller reset to set them to recommended options or turn on the battle box while holding down the red button. When the LCD says release button, let go and then push the red button so reset is yes and then push the green button. For 2 team games, 2 battle boxes will be required to work as combination boxes to provide respawns and reloads. Choose medic box from the recommended options menu and then choose any team. Combination boxes should be set to any team at this stage. At least one combination box should be left on, near the armory, so gamers can respawn themselves before briefing starts. A radio repeater with a whip antenna should be turned on and placed on high ground in the center of the battlefield. The most common and recommended first mission to run is Domination. Turn on a battle box, select Domination from the list, and then activate. This box is placed in the middle of the battlefield between the teams. Domination works well with 2 or 3 teams. Place a supply crate on each flank. Team Deathmatch is the same setup as Domination, except the Domination box is changed to another supply crate, and the combination boxes are moved closer together. Before gamers receive their gaming gun, they need to register, normally supplying a completed membership form. The registration officer will then issue the gamer a wristband. This way, all staff members know who has registered. Once the first group has registered, allocate to a team and start issuing gaming guns. Try to issue gaming guns as people arrive rather than in one big rush. Be sure to note whether they are wearing a wristband and meet any clothing requirements such as substantial long pants. Before the gamers select their gaming guns, explain they can practice with them before we start, but they should leave the head sensors wrapped around the gaming gun. They can respawn and reload at the combination box. Point out the location of the medic box. Sometimes, young players will select one of the larger gaming guns. It's good to explain we have a no sympathy policy. Try, we have a no sympathy policy here. Which means if you take one of these monster gaming guns which are way too big for you, and later your arms are falling off and you can't hit anything, we are only going to laugh at you. We highly recommend you select something you can handle. If they still want the gaming gun, issue it. Often they will come back after running around before the briefing and swap for a smaller option. Tell the gamers that a full briefing will happen later when everyone is ready. Finally, turn their gunning gun on or direct them to the nearest staff member who can switch on their device. Make sure the staff check that the gamers meet the clothing requirement and have a wristband before turning on the gaming gun. Normally the clothing requirement in a woodland battlefield is substantial long pants covering their ankles and covered shoes. For a large session, the result of issuing and switching on gaming guns before the briefing can look completely chaotic. But it has dual benefits. The gamers are learning how to play and they are more patient than if they were waiting around bored. The commanding officer has to arrange the teams. In some sessions there are natural teams or the group organizer has teams prearranged. In a public session there is likely to be multiple groups attending and the commanding officer will need to arrange them into relatively even teams. Where possible, try to keep groups together. Try to put one group with the older gamers, with another group with the youngest gamers. Do your best to estimate age and experience to make the teams equally likely to win. Sometimes you will need to ask for volunteers to change teams to even things up. When you're ready to start providing directions to the gamers such as to tell them what team they are in, use the briefing command on the master controller. If colored headbands are not used, allocate the teams their hats. Hats can be used to tell the teams. The red team is issued jungle hats or red head wraps. The blue team wears camouflaged or blue head wraps. If a third team is used, this team gets a purple head wrap. For gamers that have a cap, give them the option to wear their own cap, however they will need to wear this backwards, so the brim does not cover the front head sensor. Once they have their hats, explain how to mount the head sensors. Explain that sensors are mounted front and back and the cable goes at the back and then runs under their armpit. Before calling all the gamers in for a formal briefing, find unused gaming gun. Also find the boxes you will need for demonstration during the briefing. Get yourself into the briefing area where you're going to speak from. From radio commands, issue the briefing command. For a large group, issue the briefing area phrase. With a large group, try to arrange the audience in a large semicircle in front of you. Don't let people get too close, as it will make it harder for other people to see what you are doing. Practice your briefing beforehand, so you can deliver with confidence. Get into character and deliver with personality. Think and act like a professional actor. You will need to explain to the gamers safety, shooting, respawning, how to read the display, and supply crates. First off, welcome everyone to the battlefield. Introduce the staff members by their alias. Explain you will take questions relating to each topic at the end of each topic. If you do the briefing correctly, there should be very few questions. The most important part of the briefing is safety. Make sure everyone understands the safety rules and major risks of the activity. For example, battlefield is a non-contact activity. There are no beat-downs, but strokes or hand-to-hand combat. Now, sadly, we have a very boring insurance company. And they don't understand the need for snipers in the trees. So you can't climb the trees or the buildings. Also remember, the battlefield is not a cleared running track, there are plenty of tripping hazards. Watch where you're going, including when walking along the bush tracks. Next, point out the boundaries of the battlefield. These should be easily identifiable. The next topic is getting hit. With your gaming gun, there are 3 infrared sensors, 2 in domes that mount on the head, and 1 forward-facing mounted on the gaming gun. This is where you can get hit. On your LCD, you will see the first letter H, this stands for health. This starts at 100 health, when this reaches 0, you're dead. If you pull the trigger when you are dead, your gaming gun will helpfully say, you're dead. S is for shields, this starts at 0, and can only be increased by receiving a shield boost or boost juice from a supply crate. If you are hit and you have more than half health, you will hear a near-miss sound effect. If you hit someone with more than half their health points, your gaming gun will say, hit. If you hit someone on a shield, your gaming gun will say, ricochet. Once you fall below half health, you will hear a wound sound effect. If you hit someone with less than half their health points, your gaming gun will say, wounded. When you run out of health points, your gaming gun will make a death sound effect. When you do this to someone else, your gaming gun will say, kill. If you are killed, return to your base. This is where you started the game from. Here you will find a medic box. Go to the medic box and point your head sensor at the top of the box. Your gaming gun should then say respawned after a second. It is cheating to place your hand over the sensors, including the one on the gaming gun. The head sensors must remain on your head during the entire game. If they accidentally fall off, the rule is to stop shooting and stop moving. Only when you have put your sensors back on can you continue to play. Boxes are only to be moved by the staff. To hit someone, aim through the scope. You'll see a red dot. Aim the red dot about 2 inches above your opponent's sensor. If you have a machine gun or sniper rifle, you will need to aim about 4 inches above the sensor. Notice that the infrared beam comes out of the tube here, so it is important to make sure this tube is clear of any cover. When you're shooting, a muzzle flash comes out of the tube. You can reload ammunition at any time by pushing the red button, however reloading will start automatically when you're out of ammunition. If you hear your gaming gun say ammunition depleted when you try to reload, that means you have no ammunition, in which case return to your medic box or a supply crate and point your head sensor at the box for a reload. On your screen, in the top right corner, there is a capital A, meaning ammo. The second line will scroll through some data including your current weapon emulation, your number of reloads, and the type of damage and how much damage your weapon makes. Your reload count is listed after the letter R. The number after P, meaning piercing, is how much damage you will do with this emulation. The third line has H and K, this stands for hits and kills. H is the number of hits you have made without killing. K is how many kills you have made. Next, S indicates how many respawns you have had. Once you have collected additional weapons or aids from a supply crate, the third line will scroll through every item automatically, showing how much ammunition each has. The bottom line is the status bar. The status bar will tell you what your gaming gun is currently doing. Each time we start a game, check your status bar has changed to ready. A supply crate provides weapon upgrades, aids and additional ammunition. The system will automatically give you the best weapon you're carrying that has ammunition. If you wish to change weapon, hold down the black button until the weapon you want is showing on the second line, then release. If you have a grenade launcher or a RPG, you will also inflict splash damage. The medkit and bandages aid will restore health and automatically start when your health is low. The shield boost will add 50 shield points to a maximum of 100. Boost juice will add 60 health and 60 shields over 30 seconds. Weapons are retained between respawns but all aids are lost. Now proceed to the first mission specific briefing. Once the briefing is done, encourage the gamers to have a drink and tell them we will be moving out in a few minutes. You can use this time to collect any boxes required and to organize your staff. The gamers need to be shown where the objectives are, such as the position of both flag boxes or the domination box. Supply crate locations should also be shown to the gamers. When managing a large group, your voice may not get everyone's attention. To help, use the phrases menu on the master controller. Start with the follow the commanding officer phrase, and if required, use the follow me phrase, to get everyone moving. First show them the objectives and supply crates, and then with the help of the staff lead the teams to their respective bases. With the master controller, the staff now set the teams of the gaming guns and the combination boxes. If playing electronic capture the flag, each flag box will need to be assigned a home team. If running heist, each vault will need to be set to a team. Each team starts in a base with a combination box set to their team. For the first mission of a session, or if any gamers have changed gaming guns since the last mission, the master controller must be used to set every gaming gun to the correct team. After the initial briefing, all the gaming guns should still be in pause state due to the issuing of the briefing command. On subsequent missions, the gaming guns should be in game over state. The start command on a master controller requires the devices to be in game over state or pause state. If you're unsure as to the state of all gaming guns and devices, use the end radio function before issuing a start command. One of the controllers, usually the one held by the commanding officer, should have the mission timer set. This is found on the radio commands menu. Normally this is set to 15 minutes. All other controllers should be set to unlimited time. The controller with the timer then starts the mission with a start command found on the radio commands menu. Note that starting a mission requires a confirmation. A mission timer will now start. If any gaming guns or boxes failed to start up, the new mission command found in IR commands menu on your master controller can be used to start individual devices without restarting the mission timer. With a properly positioned radio repeater, all devices should start up. If they fail, there is likely to be a problem with that device's radio system. Check first that each team's combination box is successfully providing respawns. Wait near your team's box until the first gamer returns and successfully respawns. Next, check the objective boxes, such as the flag boxes, are operational, and then check all supply crates. Make sure they are set to the right team and are not still on the boot screen. If they are on the boot screen, push the green button on the box. For the commanding officer, one of the key roles while a mission is in progress is to make sure the staff allocated to the battlefield are helping the gamers have a fantastic time in a safe manner. All staff allocated to battlefield supervision are there to provide assistance to the gamers, much like a sports team coach. Gamers will not remember everything from the briefing and will need help with the equipment. This is particularly true during the first game, but applies for the entire session. Especially watch for gamers aiming above cover but with their lens assembly blocked. Let them know they need the lens uncovered. Also help gamers to have their head sensors mounted correctly and make sure the head sensors are not covered by their hat position. The staff should be visible and spread out. Ensure the staff are not all in one place having a chat. They need to be patrolling with their primary focus being on areas of fighting. Staff may well need to handle first aid issues, mostly scratches from foliage or bruises from falling over. The faster these are identified and handled, the better. Staff should be on the watch for cheating. The pause IR command is useful to temporarily stop a player cheating and provide a warning. If one team has stolen a flag box or domination box, you may well need to pause the entire mission by radio command to retrieve the box. Staff should provide assistance to the gamers in finding the objective boxes or their medic box. SATR3 streamlines even sophisticated missions, which frees up staff for other jobs. Once the games start, all the devices can be controlled and monitored by the commanding officer. This also means that during the games is the best time to give your staff short breaks, typically 10 minutes. Staff breaks should start from the second mission. When operating commercial gaming, we have found after much trial and error, the following guidelines for mission development are very important to achieve high levels of consistent customer satisfaction. Try to keep these in mind as you develop your own missions. It is important that sessions finish on time. For this to occur, each mission also has to run to schedule. In a typical public session, this means each mission runs for exactly 15 minutes. Avoid missions which are not fixed length. In a commercial environment where gamers are paying for every minute of play, they want plenty of action, especially for the first couple of missions. Long-range patrols where little happens for extended periods of time should be avoided except for special events. Gamers like shooting and action, they don't like walking a long way to get a respawn. Keep respawns quite close to the objectives. By using unlimited or high number of respawns, every gamer plays the entire mission. Avoid missions where some gamers are eliminated for extended periods. The major underlying goal of the SATR3 system is to provide compelling live gaming experiences with as few staff as possible. To be commercially viable, you need missions with a high gamer-to-staff ratio. Get the technology to do the work to save staffing costs. It's best to focus missions on team objectives rather than individual champions. With team objectives, more people win and it creates a positive relationship between the team members. Team-oriented missions make it easier to secretly adjust the difficulty level via the game adjustments menu. Remember, over the course of a session we want everyone to have a win. The complexity and physical challenge of the mission must be appropriate to the group. A super fit sports team might well appreciate doing a hill assault, but a white-collar corporate group will be much happier on flat ground. Generally, avoid complex missions except for veteran gamers that are ready for the challenge. The themes need to be age-appropriate and culturally sensitive. The major reason for objectives is to encourage gamers to come out of hiding and get into the action. Additionally, a team deathmatch on a large battlefield or one with little cover can result in neither team moving forward. Centrally located, supply crates are very useful in a team deathmatch as they act as secondary objectives for the gamers to fight over. Gamers want to explore. This means each mission you run in a session should see teams starting at a different location and where possible fighting over different ground. Avoid running missions where contact is likely to happen in the same place as a mission run earlier in the session. Sometimes gamers will tell you they want it ultra-realistic. Don't believe them. They may want to imagine the game is very realistic, but in reality, they always want to be a hero, they want plenty of action, and they don't want to work too hard. For marathon battles over 8 hours or more, schedule in 1-hour meal and sit-down breaks for lunch and dinner. Even though beforehand they say they want to play without breaks, they will really appreciate having those breaks.